Hi, this is Fern GZ Carr, website www.ferngzcarr.com. Welcome to my Facebook Live reading, War Astronomy, Part 2, Astronomy. Okay, well, if you've just tuned in, welcome to my themed poetry reading. I'm Fern GZ Carr. I just finished reading the war-themed poetry. So I'm going to start on my second theme about astronomy, and as I said, I'll take questions after that, but feel free to type any comments you like as I go along. Now, I've had an affinity for astronomy ever since I was a child. You can even see I'm wearing a little stars shirt here. And I'm pleased to even have had the opportunity to donate some of my poetry to a planetarium fundraising project. So I was quite pleased about that. Now, as I mentioned in the introduction, one of my most profound honors, just of my entire life, is the fact that I do have one of my poems in permanent orbit around the planet Mars on NASA's MAVEN spacecraft. That was as a result of the contest. Now, it is such a surreal feeling that theoretically my poem could outlast life on Earth. So when I look into the night sky and I see the red planet, I'm overwhelmed and humbled. So I really would like to dedicate this segment of my themed poetry readings to the awe-inspiring science of astronomy, and I hope that you enjoy my otherworldly poems. So I'm going to start off with a poem it's called Galactic Cannibalism, and it's an event that's due to happen far, far into the future, so don't worry about it. It's a clash of epic proportions, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Galactic Cannibalism. Like ninja throwing stars, galactic spirals slice through the vacuum that is space. Locked on target, sure of their mission, an astronomical collision in the making, a collision of cataclysmic proportions. In 3 billion years' time, when stellar clusters cloaked in halos of dark matter will be flung into a gravitational battle to the death, the ultimate clash of the Andromeda Galaxy and the Milky Way, who will succumb to his nemesis, devoured by the voracious Andromeda, as she regurgitates idle tales of stars and spews matter throughout the cosmos in a transformative merger known as galactic cannibalism. Now, after a night of watching the Leonid meteor showers, I was inspired to write this next poem, and it's called Coyotes and Shooting Stars. On the shoulder of a dirt road at 2 a.m., leaning against the car, head tilted upward, bundled up in not enough layers of clothing, and no longer able to feel or move my toes, shivering and shifting my weight from side to side in a futile attempt to generate some body heat. Overhead, flashes of light streak across the sky. The Leonid meteor showers spraying the Earth's atmosphere with comet remnants no greater than grains of dust. Brilliant trails blazing across an inky blue backdrop, speckled with glitter in a stellar pyrotechnic display. Catch a shooting star and make a wish. Spectators pull up and park along the side of the road for a shared experience under a canopy of stars. A rural planetarium cloistered away from the lights of the city, their oohs and ahs, breaking the implicit vow of silence respected by reverent observers. Farm dogs bristle at the plaintive howls of a pack of coyotes, sparking a chain reaction of agitated barking, an instinctive rebellion against vulnerability to predators lurking in the dark, and lights that slash the night with cosmic surrealism in a place where belief has been suspended. and sleep-deprived minds fantasize about crop circles, UFOs, and alien abductions while seeking a celestial thrill underneath a starry November sky. Now, in my poem, Ice Volcano, I like the juxtaposition of two apparent opposites in this poem. I never would have associated something cold with something so hot. Ice volcano. A frigid fury lurks on the icy moons of the outer solar system, where she spews slurry from her womb. Pressurized cryomagma erupting from deep below, molten ice, methane, ammonia, and solids shooting skyward, coalescing into plumes, rendering fecund atmospheric chemicals irradiated by the ultraviolet rays of a beneficent sun. A cosmic coitus and potential birth of amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. Proteins, the building blocks of life. The ice volcano's passion, an impetus for creation, so contrary to her hot-tempered earthly sister's scorching lava, and sinister penchant for destruction. Now, in my poem, A Window into the Past, when you look at the constellations, you're actually not seeing things in real time. So you may not see what you think you're seeing, and that's what this poem is about. A window into the past. The universe suckles nascent galaxies and cradles dying stars in its bosom, reflecting history in its radiance. Limited by the speed of light, celestial bodies are observed as they appeared in the past, their images time-delayed, beheld as they were, not as they are. The sun, as it appeared 8 minutes ago, a 4-year-old portrait of Proxima Centauri, and a snapshot of the Andromeda Galaxy 2.5 million years ago. The cosmos is reluctant to reveal her innermost secrets. Light from distant galaxies not having yet reached the Earth, despite its 13.7 billion year trek across space. Now, the concept of the warping of space and time I find to be very, very fascinating. And the next poem, called Space Time, I wrote it as a visual poem. So it, obviously when I read it, it won't have the same effect, but in a second I'll show you a picture and hopefully you can see part of it anyway. So, but if you can't, just to give you an example, when I use the word web, I've written it like a spider web, and the word gravity is written vertically, so it looks like something is being pulled downward. So I'll see if I can try to show you this. I don't know if it'll come across, but you might be able to get an idea of how it's written there. Okay, so here is space-time. Warped space-time curves under the influence of gravity to create a web strangling the stars, whose cries echo, 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 echo in the black void. And I'm going to end this section with kind of a silly but a very wise poem. And even though it's seemingly about astronomy, the poem shares a common frustration. The poem's called Not Enough. Pluto, 153 hours in a day. Moon, 656 hours in a day. Mercury, 416 hours in a day. 1,416 hours in a day. Venus, 5,832 hours in a day. Earth, not enough. Well, I hope you enjoyed the poems I read to you. As I mentioned earlier, for more information, please feel free to visit my website at www.ferngzcarr.com. My Wikipedia article is under Fern G. Carr. I invite you to visit my YouTube channel for a lot of poetry with really beautifully illustrated videos. Then I would love it if you would subscribe. Subscription is free. And my book, Shards of Crystal, is available on Amazon. And just again to repeat, I have 2 more of these themed poetry readings left. Next week's is called, the 2 themes are Afterwards and Dark Humor. And Dark Humor has some pretty funny poems. I think you'll like them. Acknowledgements. All poems contained herein copyright Fern G. Z. Carr. Part 2 is an excerpt from the original full video, which was kindly sponsored by the League of Canadian Poets and the Canada Council for the Arts. Thanks very much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like, and please be sure to subscribe. For more poetry, my book Shards of Crystal is available on Amazon. Thanks again, and stay tuned for a new video every Wednesday.